Today we're making Stromboli and Hot Pockets. But you know that's not all we got today. We got some birthday shout outs. So let's get to those. First, we want to say happy birthday to our cousin, Kat Sky. She is currently residing in Hollywood, California. Her birthday was 2 days ago. And to our BFF, Evan Jones, who is currently residing in Boca Raton, Florida. His birthday is tomorrow. We love you, Kat, and we love you, Evan, and we miss both of you, and we hope to see you both soon. Much love. Mwah. Happy birthday, y'all. Welcome back to Cooking with Kayla D. I'm Kayla, and this is my husband, Randy. My disclaimer. If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and remember to hit that notification bell for all our latest episodes as they release. For today's ingredients, we'll go over a few things. Use pizza dough of your choice. You can make homemade, buy store-bought, whatever you prefer. I'll have a link in the description area for a recipe that I used. Also, toppings of your choice. If you're using vegetables like onions, mushrooms, olives, you want to saute them first so they don't get watery inside of your calzone or your hot pocket. Same with sausage, bacon, and chicken. You want to pre-cook that. First off, I'm going to go ahead and pre-cook my toppings. So I got a skillet over medium to high heat. I got some of those hot Italian sausage links and I just pulled the sausage out. And now I'm going to roll those into a ball and get those cooked because we're just going to be using pepperoni and sausage for our recipe today. And of course, we do not have to cook the pepperoni because it is already cooked. It's aged. So I'm going to go ahead and get these sausage balls cooked, and then we'll go ahead and get started on our Hot Pockets. As you can see, I just rolled them into balls and then sauteed them. And then I did go ahead and drain them on paper towels on a plate and just set those aside. You do the same thing to your vegetables. You just want to sweat them out so that they do not put a lot of water into your Hot Pocket or Stromboli. Now for our sauce ingredients, you're going to need 1 15-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1/2 can of tomato paste, 1/4 cup of water times 2, so it's actually a 1/2 cup split in 2, 2 tablespoons of basil, you can use fresh or dry, 1 tablespoon of sugar or sweetener of your choice, 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of pepper, 2 tablespoons of crushed garlic, 2 tablespoons of parsley, and also optional is a tablespoon of olive oil. Now let's make our sauce. I have got a saucepan over medium to low heat, and I added in my tomato sauce and my tomato paste. Went ahead and stirred that up a little bit there. Once you get that stirred up and incorporated, because that tomato paste is kind of a little bit thick, then I went ahead and got a whisk out because it was just so much easier. And look how much that just whisked right in. So my advice, get the whisk, not the paddle. I'm going to go ahead and start adding my ingredients in. So I chose to get that basil. It's already chopped. I added that in there. I went ahead and added my garlic, my salt, my pepper, all of that deliciousness that goes inside of there. Absolutely wonderful. Go ahead and give this a stir. I ended up having to turn my heat down because it was a little bit too high at medium. I went down to a simmer. It was boiling and popping all over the stove. Finished off adding my ingredients. I did add 1/4 cup of water when I first started, and then I added in another 1/4 cup now because I'm almost done. Put in the salt and pepper. Get that in there. And then I'm also going to add in some parsley. So get my parsley in there. And I chose to use the fresh herbs this time. You can use dried, not a big deal. If you want to add in some onion powder or onion flake, feel free to do so. You do about a teaspoon of onion powder or a tablespoon of onion flake. Both will equal about the same amount. There is my sausage cooked. Just wanted to show you, it drained off pretty good. Now I've got my dough here, and like I said, I'll go ahead and I will put that in the description area so you can go ahead and make that recipe if you want to, but I'll also put a couple links for some store-bought dough, and a lot of stores already have it ready made in the refrigerated section next to where they have their pizza at. So like if you go to Walmart, you go to where they have the bakery pizzas, you'll find a bag of dough there, generally on sale for like $1 to $2, that does a whole entire large pizza, which is more than enough to do Stromboli and some Hot Pockets for a family of 2 or 4. Very a lot, like it's just a lot amount. So I'm going to go ahead and lightly just flour this, and I've also got parchment paper on a baking sheet. I was just trying to whip this up really fast, just so I could make something for my husband who was coming home from work, and I thought, why not film this? So I went ahead and filmed it. But I did not film the making of the dough just because I was like in a hurry. You can also do gluten-free dough if you would like. You're just going to roll this out to make somewhat of a rectangular rounded type shape, because this is our Stromboli first is what we're making. So we're going to be folding it over and making it into a curved, like a half moon shape. I'm going to go ahead and put my sauce on. If you want to do keto, you can make a chicken crust. I'll have a link in the description area for that, so you have a low carb option there. And then I will also have a description area for a gluten-free pie crust, which chicken is, but I mean if you still want to use your flours but be gluten-free, I'll have a link for that as well. Then I went ahead and put on some mozzarella. And if you don't want to make homemade sauce, you can use just jarred marinara. We have done that before in the past. Not a big deal. Rayo's is our favorite and our go-to. Rayo's has delicious, yummy sauce. I mean, actually, it's the best tasty marinara sauce I've ever had in my life, if I have to be honest. Added my sausages and then my pepperonis right to the top. You don't want to overdo it because you are going to fold this in half. So it looks like I'm making like this little pizza or whatever, but I'm going to fold it in half. And so all those toppings and everything are going to be in the middle, and then the cheese and the sauce sandwiched around it, which is really awesome. So just go ahead and make sure to tuck everything in, kind of squeeze it together and pinch it. Once you have it squeezed together, and don't worry about stuff coming out the sides, you just kind of wipe that along, and we're going to roll and tuck this in, kind of rolling it like you would do your pie crust if you're making a homemade pie. So as you can see, you can start rolling and pinch, roll and pinch, roll and pinch, roll and pinch, just like a little tuck. And you're just going to do this all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to turn out just fine. Just keep rolling and pinching and getting it tucked. Now you can spray this with olive oil, or you can go ahead and brush on some egg wash if you would like. It's just whatever you would like to do and your choice. I went ahead and just did it a quick and easy way today. I got my olive oil spray out, and I just sprayed the top of it with olive oil, and then I also sprinkled a little bit of the dried grated Parmesan cheese on top and stuck it right into the oven. You could also put like everything bagel seasoning on it. I cooked it at 375 degrees for 20 minutes. Now I'm working on the Hot Pocket, which I'm going to make for myself. It's quite smaller, so it's just more easier for me to eat that. It's less crust, so I got a small amount of the crust, which is about a quarter of it. For the Stromboli, I did use half of the crust for a large pizza, and so this is a quarter of the crust here. I'm going to make a very thin pocket because I don't like really thick dough when I'm having a hot pocket. I like it to be paper thin. So I'm just going to continue to roll it. I did use a little bit of semolina flour to go ahead and use for my hot pocket. I actually wish I wouldn't have done that. So I advise, if you're going to lightly fry your hot pocket before baking, which is what I did. I didn't just bake it. I wanted to get it done quickly, so I lightly fried it on each side until golden brown, and then stuck it in the oven for about 5 minutes to finish it off. And because of the semolina flour that I did use, it did get a little too dark for my taste, but I mean, it tasted just fine. After you roll it out to the size you want it a little bit bigger than what your hot pocket's going to be. You want to take a knife or some kind of a dough scraper or pizza cutter and cut that dough in half before you start building your hot pocket. So, but I am glad I didn't use regular flour, because that would have burned even worse, because, you know, putting flour into hot oil doesn't necessarily work out that well either. So I went ahead and got some cheese, and I'm going to put my cheese on first because I'm building a hot pocket. And what I was trying to do is replicate a Hot Pocket that I had had in high school, and no, it did not come out like that. But it's okay. It was still very delicious. So you put your Hot Pocket, you put your cheese on there, and then you're going to go ahead and ladle on some of your sauce. Just like that. And then I went ahead and added the little sausages. I decided not to go with pepperoni this time. Like I said, I was trying to recreate something I had when I was young, so didn't work out. I guess I have to take a trip to California to get some more of those delicious Hot Pockets I used to get in school. And then go ahead and put a little bit more sauce on top of your meats. And then more cheese. And I will say, I didn't put a lot of toppings in mine, so mine was kind of like hollow when it got done. Of course, the cheese and the sauce all melted together, and there wasn't a lot of toppings, so it was a little like limp. You'll see. You will totally see. So anyways, you want to get all the cheese and the toppings scraped away from the edges as best as you can. Then you want to grab your other dough over there on the side and kind of pick it up and scoot it and overlap it on top of this dough. And once you have it overlapped, then we're going to go ahead and flip it. See? Boom. And that's just easier to do it that way if you have it slightly overlapping on it. Then your toppings won't fall out as bad. And you're going to go ahead and kind of just press down the edges together, but you don't have to worry about them sticking together because we're actually going to take care of that right here. You just want to kind of get it pressed in together, get your toppings tucked in, and just kind of get it where it's just lightly sealed. And once you have that where it's kind of just lightly sealed around, you want to take a pizza cutter or a knife, and you're just going to want to cut some straight edges on that. Get rid of that excess dough, but leave a little lip on it because now we're going to take a fork and you're going to press all the way around, and you're going to seal up your Hot Pocket. And after you press it all the way around on all four sides, then we're actually going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same side, same thing to the other side. So now that you have it flipped, go ahead and just seal that up, just pressing the fork down to make sure it's sealed on both sides all the way through. Now I got me a larger skillet, and I got it over medium to medium high heat, which I probably should have done medium to low medium heat, but you know, lesson learned. But I'm glad I'm giving you the tips here so you don't make the same mistake I do. I do advise not to use all-purpose flour to roll your dough out because it will burn if you're frying it. So if you're going to do it that way, just spray it with some oil and stick it in the oven like you did your Stromboli. But with the Hot Pockets, when I was growing up, they were fried and then baked, and so that's why I did it that way. So, see, it wasn't that bad when I cooked it. It was that bad after I baked it. Maybe I should have covered it before I baked it. Who knows? We live and learn, right? So after you cook it on both sides until it's golden, probably about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, you're going to go ahead and take it off and drain it a little bit, and then stick it on a baking sheet and get it into the oven 375 for about 5 to 7 minutes. Our Stromboli is out of the oven. It took 25 minutes to cook it. I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half and show you what that looks like inside. Now this Stromboli was huge, and when I mean huge, look how big that sucker is. It's huge, and it's stuffed to the rim. The crust actually did not turn out that thick on it, so that was kind of nice. So I'll go ahead and cut it into 2 more. It's almost like a Chicago stuffed crust pizza, but not as saucy. Like the Chicago stuffed crust is really saucy. But there you go. It's like a really hefty, heavy amount of pizza. So I went ahead and got a couple slices on the plate there, as you can see. And look at that. It just looks delicious, doesn't it? So the Stromboli turned out very well. Now we'll cut that Hot Pocket in half so you can see that. And the flavors were amazing. The sauce actually turned out really good. I prefer making homemade sauce. It's just always so much better. And look at that. See how thin that one was? Didn't have as many toppings inside of it, but you know, we live and learn. Next time we make those, we'll just make sure to make them extra thick. I think I'm going to actually use one of those chicken crusts too. I think it'd be really cool. I haven't tried that one yet. It's gluten-free, so why not? Low carb. Oh, it's delicious. So there you go. You have your Hot Pockets and your Stromboli. And I'll go ahead and leave links for these in the description area for the alternative crust ideas and where you can get crust already made as well, and also some pre-packed stuff you can buy off the shelf or a mix and you can just add to it and mix it up real easy. Also the links to the video to make your homemade crust. Stay tuned to the end of the video so you can see some beautiful photos of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Therefore, having these promises, beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all filthiness of the flesh and spirit, perfecting holiness in the fear of God. 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 1.
And as always, we have some gorgeous photos here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. First, of some beautiful clouds that came in from a storm. Also, we have one of the moonrise and also the sunrise. So we hope you enjoy these photos. We thank you for being here on Cooking with Kayla D. We ask that if you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, and remember to share our channel with others. Liking puts us in the algorithm, and sharing keeps us open so we can continue to put out awesome videos for you guys. You guys are amazing, and we couldn't do it without you. For more delicious recipes, you can click the icon here on the left, and to subscribe to our channel, the icon here on the right. And until next time, we say, stay in that kitchen and keep on cooking. God bless you. Arrivederci.